Hello YouTube, Nodvik here. Now if you had seen my previous video, I tried to explain quickly how to do the towers puzzle clues for master clues on Runescape. Quickly is a terrible word for it as it took way too long, but it did spark that I wanted to go ahead and make a comprehensive guide of clues on RuneScape, because clues have been one of my favorite things to do on RuneScape since like 2005, 2006, whenever they were introduced. I don't remember. But so I went ahead and took a few clips of me doing the different types of clues and different puzzles for clues for hard, elite, and master. Of course, easy and medium are the same as hard. They're just lower requirements to get them done. But I tried to explain how to do each thing. I kind of sucked at a couple things, but yeah, here's the clips. Here's how to do clues in RuneScape. Hope you enjoy. Now we got compass clues. I like to grab my ring of the Luck of the Dwarves or whatever, teleport to Grand Exchange, move up and down a little, see how far the arrow moves up or down. It's not moving at all, so it's quite a ways to the west in this case. Generally, if it's pointing right about here, east by northeast, it's in Daemonheim. If it's pointing further east, it's going to be in Canifis. If it's pointing a little bit southeast, it's going to be in the swamp. If it's pointing pretty much directly southeast, it's in the desert or Al-Kharid. If it's south, you teleport to Port Sarim. But over here, if it only moves a little bit, it could be over near Edgeville. If it moves a little bit more than that, it's going to be just west of the Falador wall, but it also has to point a little south for that. But if it's way over here, with how little it's moving, it could be the one near the Fishing Guild, the one north of that in the, I think it's called McGrover's Wood, or it could be further than that near Piscatoris. So we're going to go ahead and teleport to the Ardoin farming patch. It's a little bit more north. How much is the arrow moving? Still not much. So take a look at our map. It's somewhere over here, but I think it's going to be closer to Piscatoris. So I'm actually going to teleport now. I could teleport there and use up my one of my quick teleports, or I can teleport just as quickly to that area using your memory strands. Just favorite them, right click, teleport. And you're still pretty darn close to Piscatoris. In fact, you're a little bit closer than the lodestone. And you can see the arrow's moving much more significantly now. It's probably going to be right around here somewhere. Oh, a little bit further up, near the dungeon entrance. Yeah. Yeah, right. Oh, it's on the other side? Okay. Oh, there it is. And there we go. Puzzle casket. Stopping and starting the recording. And we got another compass right after the first one. Now this one's going straight east. We can see how much it moves. Not at all. So it's going to be pretty darn far east, but that's to be expected because we are pretty much as far west as you can go, with the exception of the Lost Grove. I don't think any clues go there, and a little bit of Tiran or Tiranwin, or whatever it is. But anyway, I always like to start at the Grand Exchange, so we're going to teleport there. And in the last clip, I told you if it's pointing in this direction, it's going to be in Daemonheim, so let's go to Daemonheim. And it's pointing there. It's going to move quite a lot as we move here, because this one is the one right here. There's 3 down in this area, I think. There might be 4, and then there's 1 up there. From Grand Exchange, they all look to be the exact same direction on the arrow, though. That it only really changes once you teleport here. And that's it for that compass clue. So another compass clue. We're pretty much as far northeast as compass clues go. There used to be one that was right there and one that was right there, but I haven't gotten them in probably a couple years, so I think those might have been removed. But either way, I like to start in the Grand Exchange, so we're going to ignore the compass where it is now and just teleport to the Grand Exchange. Now this is facing significantly south and a little bit west, and it is moving pretty significantly. I'm going to check Draenor, I think, to see if it's shift straight north or a little bit more west. Straight north. This is going to be on the west side of the Falador wall. It's going to be right here. No. It's closer to the edge of a monastery, maybe. No, because it was south of here. It's probably going to be right around here, so I'm just going to run there from where I am. Is it going to be inside of Draenor Manor? No. No, it's outside. They added this shortcut here, so I'm not even sure when. I don't think I've been inside of Draenor Manor since RuneScape Classic, except for the hardcore series, so. Trees in the way. And there we are, and that's a compass clue. Compass clue, this is gonna be the last one I think I do for this little video. It is very much southwest of here, and it's moving pretty significantly. I'm gonna say this one's probably where I thought the previous one was. I'm not even gonna teleport to the Grand Exchange. In this case, it's gonna be... Oops, I just cancelled my teleport. Around... maybe around here. Let's go to the monastery, because I have a free teleport to that. This might be way too far, though. No, it's not too far south, at least. It is not moving very significantly, so it's quite a bit more east than it is south. So, yeah, let's check Kramja. TK. Straight west. I just opened the map. I'll watch it be right here anyway. No, it's right above me. Stop moving. A little bit laggy today. And that's that compass clue done. It tells you to wear some things, go to a place, do an emote, do it. When it comes to the emote clues, there is one that is a little annoying, and that's the Panic in the Heart of the Haunted Woods. Have no items equipped when you do. Because the heart of the Haunted Woods is not the center is over here, but the heart is over here. Basically, you see these 5 mushrooms here. Everywhere from this mushroom down to this tree, and everywhere from that signpost to about there is the heart of the Haunted Woods, apparently. Nowhere near the center, but there it is. So, take everything off, and do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight, do. Anagrams. Anagram clues work a lot like map clues in that you just gotta figure them out once and then remember them, or you have to figure them out again. If you have no idea, then play through the game more, experience more content, and you will eventually run into someone that the anagram works with. In the meantime, you can either drop or destroy the clue, or use the Globetrotter backpack to swap out a clue you don't know for one you do. Speaking of which, I need to put this stuff back on. But this is Gulag Run, which is Ulgar Nar, which is the ogre over here, so. Pretty sure this is the last step of the last hard clue I've got in my inventory. It's another coordinate clue. That's I don't think I'm gonna get another anagram clue, so I can't make my addendum that I want to make. One thing I said during the anagram clues was that you can use this Globetrotter backpack to skip anagrams that you just can't figure out. One thing I didn't mention is that the Globetrotter jacket you can use to teleport straight to the person you're supposed to talk to. So if you can't figure it out, the game does have a way to cheese it and figure it out that way, and then remember it for the future. So even if you either just have a brain fart or a blonde moment or something where you just can't figure out the answer to the anagram, you can't unscramble it to match it to something that you've experienced in the game in the past. Either it's like too obscure or too unimpactful and just wasn't worth remembering, or whatever the case may be. Just teleport to it with the jacket, and then you know for the future where that anagram goes to, and just cheese it that way. And by doing so, you're using tools that are actually available to you in the game itself and provided to you by the game itself. And you don't cheat by using like guides that just fucking give you the answer, you know? And yeah. Clue, it's very much like an anagram clue. It just gives you a little bit of a hint. Citric Cellar is one of the ones that I always thought was the least clever, because it's talking about a person who sells citrus in some form, which is of course the guy who gives the fruity alcoholic drinks in the Grand Tree stronghold, the gnome stronghold, whatever it's called. But it would be much more clever if he was in a basement in the tree, but he's on the second floor, American first floor, if you're British or Australian. But yeah, he shouldn't. Ooh, zombie. Anyway, that's yeah, you just figure out the clue and then remember them for the future. That's all there really is to it. Now we have the first scan clue. Since I started recording these. We had a couple scan clues earlier, I just wasn't recording anything. East or west or dawning. So I went to the wrong teleport, but anyway. Listen very carefully. You hear that drum sound? The doo-doom, doo-doom. Yeah. It's very quiet. Generally, it seems to work within double its range. The sound is effective. It changes tempo. So we're more than 44 blocks away where we are right now. It'd be better for us to teleport to the northern half of Ordoin, I think. Or Adajna. Or whatever. But I'm just going to run diagonally up here. And keep listening to that sound. Okay, I don't believe it to be in East Ordoin at all. It's going to be in West. Because the sound didn't change in any of that. And 44 blocks is a long radius. Now it could be up here in this corner still, but we'll be able to check that on our way. A little bit louder, but it's not faster yet. Oop, we're real close. It's probably right here. Nope. It's slowing down. We know it's in this half though, so we'll try south first. It's probably north just because I'm trying south first though. Yep, it's north. Or not. It was still fast down there. Oh yeah, no, it slowed way down. It's definitely in the south. Alright. I ran out of run energy. Did I just get stuck in behind that tree? Did you see that? I'm glad I was recording. That was hilarious. I surged through a building and got stuck in a tree. Good game, Jagex. Yeah. Why is it so fast right there when it's this far away? That's more than 44 blocks. It's probably around 62. Whatever. And Puzzle Casket is in Falador. So we're going to jump to Falador, and once again we're going to listen very carefully to the noise. If it wants to teleport to Falador when I click on the damn thing. I should have just used hotkeys. It's already pretty dang loud. It's probably right here. Nope, other way. Yep, there it is. See, you just use the sound and you can find them real quick. In the Lumbered Swamp, which happens to be why I have this lantern with me while I'm clue hunting, so convenient, right? Now, normally to get to the Lumbered Swamp, from here you go south and you enter the Hollow Tree, but if you've done the Chosen Commander quest line, I think, yeah, which starts with the Lost Tribe. No, is it called the Lost Tribe? I don't know, the one with the big-eyed goblin freaks. The Dorgish Khan area. You can go through here, and then cut through over here. And it's a little bit faster, and by a little bit I mean significantly faster to get in here. You can bring a spined helmet for this particular clue to save yourself some health, but it really isn't necessary. You just listen to the beat of the drum. If you come up here now, walking through right here, you'll take some damage, but it doesn't sound like it's in this area, so I'm just gonna skip that. Again, you don't have to worry about the damage in here. There's not enough in here to add up to cause you any significant trouble. Oh, it's over here. Could technically be right there, but nope, it's right here. But even if you have to go through the whole thing, that's not going to be enough damage to kill you, so. And number 4 brings us once again back to East or West Ordoin. I was kind of hoping we'd get one in, like, the desert north of Narda or whatever, the Elid Desert or whatever it's called. It's, whatever. So you can either teleport to the Ardoin Lodestone or farm and start in the top right corner, or you can teleport to the monastery and start in this bottom left corner. Doesn't really matter. But just kind of cut diagonally through. Oop, found it already, I think. Yeah, but we lost it. There it is, okay. Yep, and you just listen for the tempo to increase on the sound, and if it does, you're close to it. If it doesn't the whole way through, check that top corner, otherwise it's in West Ardoin. And yeah, just listen to the sound. We'll give you a bonus scan. We got Menaphos, really big area. 30 range, which means 60 range for the tempo, if I'm understanding that correctly. I don't have confirmation as to that being how it works, but basically, if we look at a map of Menaphos here, 60 range is about from where my marker is to that fishing icon. It's a huge area. So you just go up here, nothing, go over here, nothing, and then I generally teleport back, because I started here, went up, and I go right, I'm going, or went left, and then I'm going right. I'm going to teleport back to here, I'm going to go down and just cut diagonally through the whole thing. If nothing, I'm going to teleport back to here and go back here. Okay, it's not over here at all. Now when I'm doing clues, you may have noticed that RuneScape music is not playing. I do have RuneScape music playing in the other series. That's because I actually turn it off specifically while I'm doing clues. Okay, it's not up here. So I'm going to go ahead and teleport back, because I have quick teleport, so it's slightly faster. Very slightly faster. And I'm lazy. So cut down diagonally through here. Just try to sweep the whole area with the sound. Okay, it's not over here. Head down here to check the docks, and I'm going to head a little bit to the right and check the docks, and then I'm teleporting back and going behind the big S area, whatever it's called, the Grand Library or whatever. Like right here, that'll be plenty for me to see. Nope, it's not at the docks anywhere. So it looks like it's going to be behind the big building. Did my legs sink under the lodestone here when I'm doing the meditation rest animation? Oh well. So we're just going to cut back here. Still listening to the sound. Oh, we're close. You hear that tempo pick up? It's going to be right over here somewhere. Still a pretty big area to scan, but 30 paces is also a lot. So we're going to see it pop up here real soon. I think it's actually over here by the sound of it, yep. Unfortunate that it was the last place I check, but and the furthest place away from any particular point, but there you have it. Jigsaw is the easiest of all the puzzles. You just do the top row, do the next row, do the next row, do the next row, do the next row. That's literally all there is to it. So with this one, we'll just hover over hints. We see we have the curved hook right there is the first one, so let's put that in place. Next one, we have the top of the head and the empty sky, which is right there. Let's throw that in place. Next one was the moon bit, and then the top bit of the wing here. And then the claw aiming forward right there. Next we have the shoulders already in place, lucky us, and then the face. Oop. The arm, the bone on the wing, and the kind of blurred pastel piece of the wing that I think they messed up a bit on the art, but that's just personal opinion. Next level we got the elbow. We got the midriff with the cloth, or I guess that's metal falling over it. The foot, the elbow, and or the spike, and then the bit of leather that should be a spike, but is just flesh apparently on this particular creature. Whatever they're called, Firewatch or whatever. Okay. And now we need to move that over, right? That's the only one, so let's get that out of the way. We'll drop that up, slide, slide, drop, and slide, and we're done. Here we go, the next jigsaw. So we want, like I said, first row, second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row, just go in order. So we want the bright corner with the little piece of horn, which is right under where it's supposed to be. Next one, double horn facing up on the left, that's this part. Next is a piece of helmet with a spike showing. Next is the little bit of a single horn, there it is, right under my mouse. Next is this bit of the horn, and then we have this piece here, followed by that piece. Might as well throw both in the same and move that at the same time, just because it's convenient. We have the other eye, and then the last bit of horn. Next we have this piece, followed by this piece. So we'll put both those in place at once, and we have the rest of the medallion. First part of the shoulder plate. Let's move these out of the way as we put that up, put those back in place, and then the other part of the shoulder plate. Next we have the hand with the staff coming out, followed by that, I think, right? Yeah. Let's put all those in place at once. And then we have the blurred bit, followed by the small light. Let's move all those out of the way, put the small light there. And then we gotta move this piece over, so let's move the whole thing over so that we have room to move a bit out of the way. Slide that, drop, up, and slide, and you're done. Jigsaw number 3 for this clue. It's the same jigsaw we got in the first clip, but whatever. Means I can zoom through it a bit faster than I did the first time. So again, we're going to do the rows in order 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. So we're going to go, first thing we want is that, second one we want is this. Ooh, come on. Next thing we want is this. And then we're going to want both of these over here. We're going to drop that, move that up there, move that, drop that, slide all those. Next line, shoulder plate, there it is. Followed by the face. Then we have the arm, and then this piece, and then the pastel washed out piece of wing that looks wrong. Bottom elbow, midriff, claw, spike, and leather flap. And leg, and simple. Whoop. Here we go, another jigsaw. This is number 4, so this will be the last one for this video. And it's a different one, good. So we want the first piece, which is this. I'm going to drop that there. Second piece is going to be the top of his little crest and the last bit of his arm. Then we have the majority of his scalp, the remainder of his scalp, and then this little spike. Next we have the little bit sticking off of his frill, the majority of the left-hand side of his frill, his left eye, or his right eye, our left perspective seen, the eye that is on his left from our perspective, whatever, his right eye. Bit of the blade, which is missing out of my mind for some reason right here. Sometimes that'll happen where you just lose a piece, you're looking at it and you just can't see it. And what I like to do is I do this and my brain will track where the pieces move to, and it's easier to find them that way. So like doing that, I know that this piece moved here, You know, if I go, oh, we know this piece is easily found down here. Now I know it was obvious where it was to begin with, but your brain fills in a lot of stuff. It's used pretty extensively in a lot of art, where your brain will like fill in leaves and petals and stuff that should be there when they, while the artist really put there is a blur or blob of color. In the same way, your brain fills in motion, so like missing frames out of GIFs and or GIFs if you prefer, that kind of stuff. And if you do this rather quickly, just slide over them, your brain will, if your brain works like mine anyway, it'll fill in a motion where the piece is sliding into position where it is from where it was, and makes it really easy to track these when you have that hint option. But yeah, we're just finishing up this row, and then we want this piece needs to go over to the right, so let's move that out of the way and move it over to the right. Now we need this piece over, or sorry, over to the left. Now we need this piece over to the right, and we're done. In this video we'll go over the Celtic knots. What you want to do is ignore one of them entirely and just match two of the other ones. You'll preferably, if it's not the 3 diamonds one, and it's one of these ones, there's a couple different patterns. The 3 diamonds one is the most annoying of which, because it has the most space between each part, but you choose 2 in this case, so we can do red and silver, blue and silver, or blue and red, but blue and red is a bad idea because there's no straight line, it's just both on corners, too much space in between them, so we're going to choose, let's go blue and silver. Blue crosses silver twice in 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces in between, but silver crosses blue with only 2 spaces in between, so we want to match blue to silver. So right here we have silver has soul and fire. We got 2 souls, but no soul space fire. We just have soul space fire, so we're going to skip that. Now we have soul and dust. No dust on blue. Law and cosmic. There is only 1 law, and it is too close to that cosmic. Blood and astral. No astral on blue. Fire and law. We do have a fire. We have only 1 law, and it's too far away. Soul and water. We got... Nope. Alright. Mist and mind. I don't think we have any mist. Cosmic and death. We have 2 cosmics, 1 death. Death is too far away. Astral and blood. We do have a blood somewhere, I think. Nope, I guess not. Law and cosmic again, apparently. Water and law also again, apparently. Yeah, oh. Mind and fire? Maybe. Nope, doesn't match the other side. Moving on. Death and soul. We have 1 death somewhere. There it is, but it's too close to the soul. Blood and law. Cosmic and blood. No. Law and fire. Where are the other? Oh, it's right there. Nope, too close. Fire and soul. Yes, and it matches everything, so now we match red. We got law here, law up there, and this law is wrong, so we're going to move the other law to it. And you're done. Yay! And unfortunately we got the same knot. I'm sure we'll get another one that's different, but I'm going to go blue to silver again just because I can. Is there another body? No, there's not, so... Death and steam, I think that's called. Is that our only steam? Yeah, moving on. Blood and soul. We have 2 bloods, no soul. Lava and body. Nature and mind. Is that... There is a mind, but it's... Yeah, no. Body and steam. We only have the 1 body, and it is in the wrong place for that. Oops. Steam and smoke. No smoke. Soul and water. No soul. Body and lava. Body is way too far away. Mind and cosmic. No cosmic. Steam and water. Too far away. Smoke and nature. There is the smoke here. Way too far away from the nature. Water and death. Didn't I say there was no smoke earlier during one? Crap, we might end up going in a full damn circle. Nope. Hey, we're done. Alright, nature. Sorry. Blood. Is it this one? Nope, it's the other one. And done. Yay. There we go, a different knot. Now, in this one, we have silver is crossing one next to another on red and on blue, twice each. Just pick a spot, it doesn't matter. I like to just go with whatever's the bottom left, so in this case red and silver. So red we got fire and mud, so do we have any fire on silver? No, we don't, so let's move that. We got death and astral. Yep. Hey, done. And now we just match that lava to that lava. Nice and quick, right? And knot number 4 is going to be the same knot we just did, apparently. Different rune layout, of course, but the same patterns. So again, we're just going to match silver to either blue or red. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go red because it's on the bottom left. That's really the only reason. But we have death and death, so that's not going to happen. There's never 2 in a row the same. We have mud and nature, which is already right here. Is that it? Yay, what do you know? And we have mist. Now we have a lot of mist. I think it's going to be this way, though. Yep, and done. Now, I said the other knot was going to be the last one, but this is the 3 diamonds one I was talking about that's more annoying because there's 3 spaces between each of the smallest section, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 between each of the second sections. But obviously that means we're going to be matching silver and red because it's the smallest space between. I will match silver to red, so we got astral and body. No other astral, so we'll move red a bit. We got mind and blood. There is 1 blood and 1 mind, but they are way too far away. So we're going to go nature and earth. No nature. Law and mud. We do have a law, but no mud to match at the right distance. Blood and astral. We just have the 1 astral, right? Yep. Water and mind. No water, right? Yeah, okay. Mud and nature. I don't remember where the nature was on silver. There is none, it looks like, right? Correct, okay. Steam and law. We have the 1 steam, but no law in the correct distance. We got dust and blood. I don't think there's any dust. No. Fire and water. No water. Mud and mud. It's far enough away that it's possible, yeah. Because 2 is the minimum, but yeah. We need 3, not 2, so as you can see, it doesn't fit. Mud and steam. We have a steam, we have several muds, but not quite where we need them. Body and dust, there's no dust. Blood and fire. Too far away. Earth and mid. Almost, not quite. And that's the only earth on here. Mud and smoke. We do have a smoke at the right distance almost. Hey, what do you know? Cool. Okay, so now we need a mind on blue. There's 1 over there on the left, so let's circle right. And it all matches. Done. So that covers the how-to for up to elite. We will move on to, not bad, masters. If we get a few of them here, reroll. Which, 3 elites, I expect to get 1, maybe 2 master clues. Hey, there's 1. Lockbox skipping tickets. Only 250, only 100, like less than 100k each, really? That's surprising. Lockboxes are kind of annoying. Whatever. If they're not worth much, they're not worth much. Hey, there we go. Another master clue. Let's get some runes out so we can alk these. Oh, we have room to open that other clue. And last one. Only 2 master clues. Anyway, so yeah, that concludes our little bit of a guide for the hard and elites, as well as medium and easy, because they're just the same as hard, but much easier, much less cryptic. And we will move on to some of the master puzzles if we can. So getting into master clues now, we got 2 of them at the completion of the hard and elites, as you saw. Our first one is I guess I'd call it an action clue. Maybe it falls into cryptic clues category still. Hey, Munchie, go away. Sorry, the dog. But basically you do something and then the clue automatically transforms into the next step. It's just a way of putting skill requirements onto master clues, to be honest. Some of them are basically you cook a rock tail, or you burn a magic log, or you smith a rune bar, that kind of thing. Actually, I think it's smith a rune medium helmet or full helmet, I don't remember. But no, it's a medium helmet because it only takes 1 bar per clue, I think, if I remember right. But anyway, this one is complete this action to solve the clue. Being open to chaos can raise your defenses. It may also bring you closer to death. Take a moment to bottle this feeling. So bottling, obviously, you know, it's a herb lore. Raise your defenses. It's a potion that increases your defense. Being open to chaos, you know, Zamorak or Zeros, obviously. And bring you closer to death. We know there's not really anything to do with Zeros in herb lore right now, but there is for Zamorak. The Zamorakian brew, it raises your defense, and it does damage to you, so all we have to do is make a Zamorakian brew. I'm not sure if I have the ingredients in my bank already, but I'm about to find out. If I don't, I'm going to hop into the Grand Exchange, which requires me to open the Grand Exchange, and I don't want you guys to see my buy and sell offers right now, so I'm going to cut the recording and come back when I've got the ingredients. Yep, as expected, I did not have the ingredients and had to buy them, but anyway, Tourstool and water, Jenga berries in that, and the clue changes. Sweet. I guess I'll do a quick word on the Eastern Lands compass clues. Just go to Wyco, hit M to open up your world map, and zoom out. There's only ever like 1 island it can be on from here, with the exception of Goshima, can be also on Wyco once you come here. So just, you know, go to Wyco, hit M, and then go to the island that it's pointing to, in this case Amishi. If it were the islands that were once turtles, it would be more here than here, so yeah. Alright, we'll try this again, and hopefully without the fucking interruption of background noise, shall we? So, we have a lockbox here. Now, lockbox is, if you're going to buy tickets to skip anything, lockbox would be my recommendation, because it is by far the most annoying of the puzzles. That being said, if you were a kid in the late 80s, early 90s, there was a little handheld game called Lights Out. If I remember right, it cost like 13 bucks in Walmart back then. I got it for my birthday in, I think it was 94, because the bully that broke it in elementary school was was in a particular elementary school that I was in '94, if I remember right. But anyway, it had a T flip-flop under each button, and pressing that button would toggle each flip-flop for the one under that particular button, as well as the button above it, below it, left, and right of it. So in a cross pattern, just like we have here. Now that only had two states for each button, either on or off, and the goal was to turn them all off or on. It's called lights out, so the goal was to turn them off, but if you turned them all on, you would get the same celebratory flashing, and it would win the game, you know. The only difference here is that you have three states, either ranged, magic, or melee. If you're actually going to do these puzzles instead of buying the lockbox skip tickets, then what you kind of want to do is pick one, either ranged, melee, or magic, and always go with that one, because it'll be easier to recognize patterns and not get stuck in a loop going around in a circle over and over if you stick with the same one every time instead of trying to do a different one each time. That being said, I usually stick with ranged, but I'm either going to do magic or melee this time, so that I have to think about it more and I don't go too quickly, because that happened the first lockbox I got that I tried to record, and I wasn't happy with it. I would rather have a long video that's embarrassing and annoying that it took me so long than have one where I didn't actually explain anything. So kind of what you want to do is you want to go around the border and work your way in, but remember you're always affecting at least 2 rows, sometimes 3 at a time, and you gotta kind of think 2 steps ahead as you do them, and you want to make them all match. So let's decide which we're going to do. I don't want to do range because that's what I always do, so we're either going to do magic or melee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's more magic on the board as it stands right now, so I think I'm going to do melee, just because that generally the more you have, the easier it is. Usually that's not always the case, depends on the pattern, but we'll do melee because there's less on the board right now. So we want to do the border first, but we also want to do the inner ring at the same time. So we want to get the border towards melee and the bottom towards melee. The top, we can get 3 melee, 4, 5 melee, just that easy right there, because magic goes to melee, range goes to magic. If we work down the side, we want to get this one to melee without affecting this one, so I want to go down 1 and hit that. We want to get that one to melee, we'll hit that. And next we want to get the bottom. I'm not going to worry about this corner because the middle ring is actually going to end up changing what we need for me, so I'm not going to worry about these two boarding the corner too much. I want to kind of leave that one alone entirely, honestly, but we do want the corner itself to change. We don't want to change this one from melee if we can avoid it. If we hit this twice and this once, it'll go back to melee. But we need to change these inner corners. So I'm going to change this inner corner first, then change this middle to melee. What do you think? Now let's change these two to melee and leave the corners alone. So let's do that. If I hit this, we get our both of those to melee, and this corner stays melee. What does that do to this corner? Let's go ahead and take care of this one. Now, like I said, if clicking this is just going to make me go around in circles, and I know that from doing these in the past more than anything else. So I kind of want to leave that one alone. I'm going to change it to melee from this one. And let's go ahead and change that to melee. And then that to melee like that. And then we got ourselves a nice cross, right? So it's... Puzzle boxes are hard to explain. I'm not really happy with this recording either, but we'll see if I get another puzzle box or not to tack on to the end of this one. I'm going to keep this one because it's better than the last one. The last one only took me about a minute 30, and I didn't explain much of anything. I did a little better this time, but I'm just not happy with it. We'll see what happens the next time I get a puzzle box. Alright, there we go. Now we get another lock box, right? I normally go with range. Last time I went with what? Was it melee or magic? I think I went with melee last time, so this time we'll go with magic. There's already a lot of magic on the board with how few there are ranged. I should go with that, but like I said, the first time I tried to record one of these, ranged was just too fast, so we're going to do magic. So what we want to do is we did the border method last time, and I really sucked at explaining it, so this time let's try to do from top down. So let's make this magic, and this magic, this magic, this magic, this magic. Go magic, 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 magic. So now we have just 3 to work with. Okay. And I'm just trying to move the ones closer together. Right? So now we have 1. Let's move this to the corner if we can. Up. I want to keep that one as magic as well, so let's go like this. My eye itches. I don't know if you could hear the rubbing, but there we go. Oops. I don't want to do that, I want to do that. Yeah, I hate the top-down method. I always end up with 1 left over, and I forget how to deal with that. Let's get it back to just 1 of them available by going from top down again. So boop 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 boop. Oh. Okay. Well, this sucked. We will do a different one later because I don't know, my brain just went. Okay, a lot of background noise again. So we're gonna do attempt number 3 on recording this. Why is it always right near the end when the background noise kicks in? Right near the end of recording something. So annoying. A little bit of background noise right now. Trust me, not as bad as it was. So, where was I? Oh yeah. So let's alright. If you watched my previous video on master clues, it was basically just on these lockbox puzzles and how to do them, and it took me entirely too long to do that, but I'm making a comprehensive guide here anyway, so I want to go over it again. So first I'm going to explain how you actually do the clue, and then we're going to do it together. So each of these numbers across the top, bottom, left, and right here represent a points of perspective, basically a spot to stand if you're going to visualize the game. So from each of those spots to stand, from each of these points of perspective, how many in the row or column of the towers can you see? And that's what that number represents. What I mean by towers is we imagine we have 5 different sizes of towers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, 5, whatever. I can't draw a 4 in MS Paint for some reason. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, each row can only have each size of tower once. Each column can only have each size of tower once. If we were here, say our point of perspective is here, and we're looking at the towers, we can see this one, here. God, I clicked on the line, I swear. We can see this one. And behind it, this one's taller than it, so we can see it. So we can see this one. Behind that, we can see this one. Behind that, we can see this one. Behind that, we can see this one. Right? So that number would be 5. Looking this way, if our point of perspective is over here, we can see this one because it's right in front of us, so no matter what we can see it. But this one's too short to see, 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 so the number would be 1. If we say move number 5 over here, and we were looking at it from here, we can see this one because it's right in front of us. We can see this one because it's right in front of us. This one's too short to see behind it, this one's too short to see behind it, this one's too short to see behind it. But this one's taller than it, so we can see this one as well, so the number would be 2. Right? So let's move another over here. And let's grab a random one here. No. We'll do this. We'll move these two over here. Right? So now from here, we can see this one because it's right in front of us. We can't see this one because it's hidden behind it. We can see this one because it's taller than that one. But this one's behind this, too short. This one's behind this, too short. So we can't see out of those. So we can see this one and this one. The number's still 2. Right? But if, say that's there, we can see this one because it's right in front of us. This one's too short to see. We can see this one. This one's too short to see behind that. And we can see that one, so the number's 3. Make sense? It should make sense. So that's what those numbers represent. So, god damn it. Looking at this, what that means is if you have a 5 on any of the bordering sides anywhere, no matter what, if you see a 5, the numbers are in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's the only way you're going to be able to see all 5 of them from any point. Similarly, if you have a 1, the one directly in front of it is going to be a 5, because that's the only way that you'd only see 1. From here, that's our first free clue, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or anywhere where you have a 5. Our second free clue is if you have a 2 across from a 5, the number's 4. Right? No matter what, because that's the only way to hide all 3 in the middle. Next free clue we get is if you have a 3 across from a 3, the only way to have that is if the middle number is 5. Just straight up. Additionally, for that same one, we have a 5 here, so there's not going to be a 5 here. We have a 5 here, so there's not going to be a 5 here. We didn't have a 5 anywhere here, so this one's open. We had a 5 here, so this one couldn't be a 5. We have a 5 here, so this one couldn't be a 5. So this is the only place that could have been a 5 in this row. Similarly with columns, couldn't be this, couldn't be this, couldn't be this, couldn't be this, because those rows already have a 5. So for this column, this is the only spot that could have had a 5. So we have a multitude of ways to know that that one there absolutely has to be a 5, right? So those are all of our free hints. From there, we have to actually start solving the puzzle. So we don't really know anything about the bottom. We have 3 squares left that can either be a 1, a 2, or a 3. If this is a 1, that works. If this is a 2, that works. If this is a 3, that works for both of these numbers. So no matter what, yeah, this one's going to be invisible no matter what, so this one's always going to be 3. These are all going to be invisible from this way no matter what, so it doesn't matter what this is. So any of those could literally be anything at this point. We don't know anything about it. Next row, we need to have 3 visible. The 5 is always visible because it is the tallest one, so no matter what goes in here, it doesn't matter. So 2 of these 4 have to be visible, right? So this can't be a 4, because then all 3 of these would be invisible, and this would be a 2. It can be a 3 if one of these is a 4. Alright. It can be a 2 if this one is 4. It can be a 1 if this one is 4. So we don't really know what that one is. But we know 4. If this is a 3, then any of these can be 4 except for this one. If this is anything but a 3, this one has to be a 4. That's the only way to get it to work right. But as of right now, 4 can be either of these 2. That's all we really know. So let's move on from there. When it comes to this column, we have a 2 and a 5, we have a 2 and a 5, so this one here can be anything for the sake of the column, but for the sake of going this way, it has to be either a 4 or a 3. And then this one down here would either be a 4 or a 3. So this one has to be a 4 or 3. And we can only be a 3 because 4 is taken. So this is a 3, and this is a 4. Right? Yeah. Cool. Alright. From there we have either a 1 or a 2 that can go into either of these. And if this is a 1, then no matter what, this is going to be visible. So this one has to be the 2, which means this one has to be 1, because that's the only one a 2 can hide. Which means this is our 1. Right? And what did we say before? If this one was anything but a 3, this had to be a 4. So that's the only way to hide both of these, because this is a 2 and a 3. If this was anything but a 4, one of these would have to be 4, which would be this one, which means this number would be 4 instead of 3. So this one has to be a 4. So we know that so far. Hopefully this is making sense to you. If not, I'm sorry. What we have left here, we have a 2 and a 3 left over. Going this way doesn't matter, it's always going to be hidden. Going this way doesn't matter, it's always going to be hidden. From here, 4 is visible and 5 is visible. No matter what's in these two, 1 is not going to be visible, but only one of these can be visible. So they have to be in order of highest to lowest. So this is going to be a 3, this is going to be a 2. Cool. So now the 3 is visible because it's right in front of it. 2's not because it's shorter than 3. 1's not because it's shorter than 3. 4 is because it's taller than 3. 5 is because it's taller than 4. So 3, 4, and 5 are visible. That's 3 numbers. Make sense? I hope so. Next number, going column-wise doesn't really help us. Let's go left and right because we only have 2 to fill in here. That can be either a 1 or 2. That can be either a 1 or 2. Doesn't really matter. So that doesn't help us. Let's move on. Teddy bear, choose where you want to be. Stop going back and forth. Come here. Come lay down over here. I don't want to open the door because there's too much damn background noise. You hear me? You want in? Fine. Alright. Be right back. I'm letting the dog through a door. Muting. Alright. I'm not going to cut that out. It was rather short. Where was I? So we don't know which is which. It can be either 1 or 2 in either of these right now. If we get more information, we can go off it here. So let's go here. We have 1, 2, which means we have 3 and 4. Only one of them can be visible, so it's going to be highest to lowest. This is going to be 4. This is going to be 3. Additionally, this one can't be 4 because 4 is already taken, so we already know that one. We only have 2 openings here. We have 1, 4. Both of those are visible. 5 is visible. Both these are going to be invisible no matter what because they're both shorter than 4. But they can be either 2 or 3. 3 is taken for here, so 3 can't go here. This is 2, this is 3. Right? Make sense? Cool. Next, down here we have 1 and 2 available. Still don't know anything. It's kind of intertwined. Whichever one of these is 1, the other one's 1. Whichever one of these is 2, the other one's 2. Let's see, what do we have here? 3, the 5 is visible. 4, no matter where it is going to be visible, so that's 2. 4 can't go here. 4 can't go there because it would block it, so this one's going to be our 4. Oops, one too many. It's going to be our 4. Now we have a 1 and a 3 available. 4 and 5 are visible. Only one of these can be visible, so this is going to be our 3. Oops. And this is going to be our 1. Cool. So yeah, either of these can be 1, either of these can be 2, and the opposites it doesn't matter here. There are two solutions to this puzzle, two total solutions it looks like. If this is 1, then this is 2. If this is 2, then this is 1, and vice versa. Either way. Nope, okay. Maybe it is only this way. I fucked up somewhere. 5, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 5, 1, 2, 5, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 4. Oh, apparently I clicked these backwards or something. Alright, there. Now it should be good, right? Yeah, cool. So hopefully that all made sense. Took a couple minutes less than last time, but still way too long, but we'll go ahead and include it so for the sake of the comprehensive guide. So that's how you do lockboxes. Takes a while, kind of hard to explain, but really simple when you get down to it. And when you're not talking through it, it should be faster than that. So unfortunately, we only got the 2 lockboxes out of both master clues there. So I'm probably gonna have to make a separate video for lockboxes and try to do the explanation better or at all, because I really sucked at it this time. I'll probably just stick with ranged and try to slow it down. But my advice is for lockboxes, just pick one and always go with that one, whether it's melee, ranged, or magic, because you'll get used to the patterns that you want to follow. You can drag down from the top to make it easier, and you'll always end up with the same pattern to work from, either 2 or 3 on the bottom that are wrong, or 1 in the center that is wrong is really common. And then from there you always take the same actions, and it becomes just sort of mechanical. And you just go with it from what you know. You get it to something you know, and then go from what you know, I hope that makes at least a little bit of sense. But let's see what we got. 400k and a star. That's not terrible, but I mean, this is a master clue that I can reroll. Let's go for it. Much worse. But you gotta reroll, right? I mean, you gotta. Yeah, I should have gone with that first one and then rerolled the second, maybe. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.